Hi, welcome to Labourie College Healthcare Ethics Summer First Session of 2022. I am your professor, Anna Choi, and I'm just doing a little short introductory video to help you navigate this classroom. I know what you guys do. You only go for the assignments, you just see what's coming up, and you don't bother to read the syllabus or even to know, what's happening in the class. So I'm just going to give me a moment to just like describe what's happening in this class. Very straightforward, very easy. Okay, first thing I want to point out is how to navigate this classroom through this announcement and this video. There's only one textbook for this class. It's called Nursing Ethics Across the Curriculum. Please read the syllabus very carefully, which I will get to shortly. It's the first tab under class content. And so that's the first thing you should read, because not only does it describe everything that you have in this class, but it also shows you my grading criteria. So your grade on Brightspace is not your grade for the class. There's a specific grading criteria I have. All PowerPoints that accompany each chapter of the textbook are also found under content. I kind of flushed those out and wrote those out just to help you. And it should function as an outline for the chapter, not the only thing that you read. Okay? All discussions can be found under discussions. All quizzes can be found under quizzes. There's a quiz for every chapter. And then all the assignments will be here, and the final exam is kind of a cumulative, bigger assignment that you'll have to do at the end of the semester. Keep in mind, this semester moves very quickly. It's from May 16th to July 3rd, so that's an entire semester in basically about 6 or 7 weeks. So just make sure that you keep up with all of the classwork. The textbook is not hard to read. It moves pretty quickly. It has lots of examples and case studies and things like that. And you can obviously use your textbook, the PowerPoint, all your notes for everything because the quizzes are basically open. Okay? So I also had a couple more things in here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at class content. Okay. There's the syllabus, and then each of the PowerPoints. I'll just show you an example of a PowerPoint. Each of the chapters, I wrote up a PowerPoint for each chapter. Okay? Describing exactly what you should know from that chapter. So each of them is about 15 to 25 PowerPoint slides, and you should read the chapter first and then read this after that. This should, or maybe put the textbook and this next to each other so you know exactly how to follow along the bullet points. So each chapter has a PowerPoint, and then this is the syllabus. Okay, here's the grading criteria. All the discussions are 25%, the assignments are 25%, the quizzes are 25%, and the final exam is 25%. So there's a lot of stuff in this class, which means if you miss 1 or 2 assignments, 1 or 2 discussions, it's fine. But just make sure that, you don't miss a lot and that it's not like 5 or 6 or you've missed all these quizzes. You don't want to be doing that because then the average will not be so great. To order the e-book, because if you've ordered the nursing textbook and it says like it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks to get in, then just cancel that order and order the e-book instead. And you can also order it as on Amazon for only $20 as an e-rental. Okay. Here's the course plan. These are where all the I'll just show you. Essentially, I have basically outlined it per week. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. And then within each week, this is all the classwork that you need to have finished by the end of that week. So I'll even show you exactly when the deadlines are. Here are the chapters that you read before you approach the assignments. And then basically it's exactly that same way until the very end, where the final exam will be available on July 2nd, and then you have to submit by July 4th. Okay? This is my email address right here. If you need to speak one-on-one in person, I can certainly set up a Zoom meeting and we can go over, your test or study guide or whatever. one-on-one, but you should suggest 2 or 3 times to me because I know your schedules are actually much more packed than mine, frankly. So suggest 2 or 3 times. It can be even be in the evening. It can potentially be on a weekend, and then I will pick a time to meet with you, and I will set up the Zoom. Okay? All right. So the course overview is about basically healthcare ethics in the nursing profession, because most of you, I think all of you, are getting your nursing degree or at least elevating one nursing degree to another one, right? So healthcare ethics kind of falls into the realm of both philosophy, morality, and religious studies, essentially teaching you how to deal with different ethical situations that come up in your profession. And that's what each of those chapters will outline. And actually, one of the most handy things about this textbook and about this class is you will understand the language that you need to use in those settings, in those nursing settings. When you come into a situation, you actually will have the vocabulary to deal with the issues. And that's kind of like the cornerstone of this class. Okay? You're going to be able to, at the end of this class, understand philosophical uses and ethics, moral systems of moral reasoning. So I'm going to be introducing you to a number of ways of thinking about ethics, especially in terms of like the historical figures in the past who have kind of developed systems on how to think ethically. You're going to look at a lot of case studies. This textbook is really great about case studies that you genuinely might actually encounter. Discuss the role of ethics in terms of your nursing profession. Discuss ethical implications of providing care for all sorts of different categories of people, from the elderly to children to people with HIV, people with COVID, etc. There's all these different case studies and different scenarios that are outlined in the textbook as well. Types of treatment, patients' rights, nurses' rights, power dichotomy between nurses and doctors. All of these things will be dealt with in this textbook. Okay, so this class is fully online. You know what the deadlines are because I've indicated them. I think the key to this class is looking at this, knowing when these things are due, and then I will show you. And then kind of going in each of these tabs and seeing when things are due. So, for example, here's Chapter 1's case study. This is your first assignment that you will be getting. Let's see, it's taking a little bit of time to open. I'm sitting at my home office, by the way. Oh, you know what? You don't see it because I haven't opened it yet. But let me show you what it is, and so you get some idea of what the assignment might be. Okay. Oh, where is it? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay, so essentially the assignment would be giving you a particular situation and then using the tools from Chapter 1. What is the meaning of the term feudal, which you'll learn in Chapter 1. How does this treatment relate to Kantian deontology, which you also learn in Chapter 1. Versus virtue ethics, which you will also learn in Chapter 1. And then the third question is kind of like, what, just in your own opinion, using what you know from Chapter 1, how can Rosie and her colleagues kind of, fix the situation? So essentially, you actually have to know what the chapter says in order to address this case study. See what I mean? And then every assignment will actually be like that. A particular case study or a scenario, and then using the tools that you have from that particular chapter, you're going to have to look at that assignment. All right? Discussions are kind of like in a different category. Let's look at the first one for that. So let's say Chapter 1 discussion, right? It's currently closed because the class is not open, because I'm making this video before the class opens, but let me just demonstrate what that would be. Think about your personal ethical perspective. How does it fit within the context of ethical relativism and ethical objectivism? Do you believe that stories in books and movies have affected your moral views? So this is more like discussion questions versus use what you know from the chapter, you know? But even that first question, you have to know what ethical relativism and ethical objectivism is, which actually comes from the chapter. So in both the assignments and the discussion questions, you have to read the chapter first and understand the content, okay? And then, I'm not going to show you the quiz, but essentially, maybe I'll just open the first quiz. Let's see. I'm not going to show you the quizzes, but because then you'll just screenshot it and then you'll know what the questions are. Let me see. I might go to the quiz just to see if it opens up. Oh. Okay, all right. So essentially what the quiz is structured as is like a multiple choice or short answer type of situation. So each question, there's about 20 questions and each of them are worth about 5 points. So it's not that difficult. And then you'll have a final exam at the end. So really pretty straightforward. I mean, if you ever need help, just email me, suggest some Zoom times, we can go over the information. But in general, the class content is key. That's when you read the chapter in the textbook and then you look at the PowerPoint, you know, kind of next to it. Then you'll do the assignment and then you'll do the discussion and just make sure that you're keeping on track, okay? Something that's actually quite helpful is if you go down here, here's where all the deadlines are. So if I hit show more, right? That's actually quite handy because it's right on the home page and you can kind of see what's coming up or what's available to do and then you don't lose track. So for example, here, chapter 1 discussion is available. You know, there you got to do it, right? Let's see on 22. Let's see, 26. Oh, hang on. Here's the agenda. Let's look at the agenda. Hello, why is it not going? I'll show you. Oh, you know why? Because the class is not open yet. But I would actually look on the right side of the class to figure out everything that needs to be done. See, these are all the things like, okay, I'm going to be reading this, right? Looking at the agenda list. Okay, so discussion, chapter 1 discussion is available here. Chapter 1 quiz is due here on May 22nd. Chapter 1 quiz, it ends, availability ends on May 22nd. Assignment, chapter 1 is due. So that is under the list view of that area. So I'm going to show you how to get to that again. Here we are on the home page, right? Go over here to the right, see these upcoming events, right? I'm going to say show more. I want to know what my upcoming deadlines are. And then list view. And these are all the things that are coming up, right? It's available. Here's the discussion when it ends, all right? So this would actually be kind of handy to kind of keep open on your page all the time because things are going to be due every 2 or 3 days, all right? All right, good luck. The class starts, of course, on May 16th, which is coming up in a couple of days. I will upload this video so that you can use it to take a look around the class. Please, on your own, you know, time, take a look at the class, but absolutely read the syllabus. Make sure you know where all the deadlines are, and good luck. All right. See you later, hopefully.